What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our YouTube channel here for our Twitter news story of the day. Had a lot of interesting topics to decide what we were going to talk about today, but I guess we ended up on sad stuff. One of the trending topics on Twitter this week was movie scenes that made us cry, like the saddest movie scenes of all time. And I think there's a difference between movie scenes that make us cry and sad movie scenes, because they're like I said, the one part in a movie that always gets me is when Mike Eruzione says his hometown and then he plays for the United States of America, and I just cry because it's like such a pretty much the most important moment in U.S. history.
It's
honestly.
not sad.
Yes, so yes, we'd all be speaking Russian right now if Eruzione did say Winchester, Mass. Where are you from?
Yeah, let's make it clear. It's not them winning the game.
No, they would never have won the game.
That's the most important.
The friggin' Berlin Wall would still be up right now.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we're talking sad, gut-wrenching, just crushing movie moments. We're gonna do a draft as always, snake draft. Tony went first last time because I always sit in the middle. I guess I will never go first, but that's fine. No.
Right.
Gar, please. Michael Gar has the first pick. We're talking sad movie moments. Sad movie moments. Gar, you're on the clock. You get the first pick.
All right. Well, this is we both agree this is the best movie of all time, and I'm taking it.
Okay.
Forrest Gump. And there are a lot of sad scenes in that movie. A lot of great scenes too. But I'm taking the obvious one, where Jenny dies, and Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks, has that monologue, that beautiful speech, right at her tombstone, and just pouring out the feelings. And when he almost breaks down and cries himself, that's when I lose it. That's when I lose it. It's just so sad.
If we could grade or
because
rate,
this girl sucked. And this guy is dumb enough to not realize it, and then she finally got him, or he finally got her, right when she had AIDS.
She gave him AIDS,
but still, this was the girl that he loved his entire life.
And it's, I don't really want to try to sound nerdy when I say this, but it was so powerful because of the character development you saw of Forrest, who only would run literally when you told him to run. People were throwing rocks at his head in the beginning of the film, and he didn't run until she would be like, yo, get the hell out of here, man. They're going to kill you.
Yeah.
And so, he wasn't there mentally. I mean, that was, the whole point of the story, that he was kind of borderline on, special needs. And
he wasn't a smart guy.
He wasn't a smart guy.
And then just
to see, but he knew it, exactly. I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
Yeah.
And
he was loyal.
And he was so loyal and so dedicated to this girl, and to see his emotion. I mean, his emotion didn't even show when his mom died. And his mom was everything. I remember that monologue too. But the monologue at the end of that movie, when he's talking to Jenny and he breaks down crying, it's just
I think that's a clear first round,
that's
overall
a solid first round pick.
A clear one.
I'm gonna go. I mean, that's up there, but I guess my first round pick would be another heartbreaking moment. Remember the Titans hospital scene when Gary tells the nurse that oh my god, when he says, Alice, don't you see the resemblance? We're brothers. And it's when Julius visits Gary in the hospital after his car accident. Gary Bertier, the all-American linebacker, and this was a time, the movie's about segregation and the civil rights era, and how they came together as a team. And at his weakest moment, Julius was there, his one-time rival, to support him, and he called him family. And it just, it speaks about so much, such a powerful moment. I would give that my number one.
Well, I want to add to the scene that when they're talking, they're looking at each other, and they're like, eventually, this is going to be over, and we're going to go our separate ways.
Yeah.
And, we're going to get old and fat and everything. And then that's when they start crying.
Yeah.
That's when it hurts.
Yeah.
Me.
All of it. And
because we're all
going to get old and fat. I'm well on my way.
Same.
And I look amazing.
Yeah, that scene where they just became best friends, and they knew what was about to happen to Gary and the state champ, all of it, and it just sucked. Tony, you got the next 2 picks. What do you got?
Okay, so for my first one, I'm going to do The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Okay.
I've seen the movie. The very horrible movie. Well, good movie. Very horribly sad.
It's a Holocaust movie, right?
Yeah, it's a Holocaust movie, so it's very sad. But these 2 kids pretty much are walking up to their death, and they don't even know what's about to happen to them. They think nothing of it. They're kind of actually excited, if I can remember correctly. And once they are about to go into this to get killed, they realize, and then they start flipping the hell out. They eventually get killed. It's a horrible, horrible scene. I mean, I'm not a crier, but it made me cry.
All right, so that's your first round pick, second round pick. This is so depressing. I don't know
Yeah,
why
I
we
know,
chose
man,
this
this is
topic.
horrible.
We could have talked about O.J. Simpson.
I'm tearing up right now.
That's less depressing.
So my second pick will have to be from the movie Miracle. This man, what was his name? Gar?
Mikey Ruzioni.
No,
the
the guy got cut.
Oh, Ralph Cox.
Ralph Cox, right before
'Cause
they
they
went
playing-
into the Olympics.
Played hockey for the women.
Yep, right before they went into the Olympics, he got cut. He was a part of the team the whole way. Everyone loved him. He was a big team guy, and they just didn't have a spot for him. And, I mean, that was another one that
And Herb Brooks, it was hard for him to make that cut.
Yeah.
Because Herb Brooks was the last man off the 1960 gold medal team. So he was the Ralph Cox of 1960 where he got cut and they went on to win the gold. So yeah,
it was just a hard time because you grow with the character, you grow with Ralph in the beginning of the movie, and then to see him get cut like that, it was heart-wrenching.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that's nearly on the same level as the first 3 that we just mentioned.
No, it's not.
I agree.
I mean,
second
the
round
other
pick.
3,
Ralph Cox has
the
like
other
8 lines.
3, Tom Hanks won an Oscar for his performance in
Yeah.
Gar's scene.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans, that's like one of the most memorable, that's probably like the
Classic
top.
sports movie.
That's not even in the top 5 best moments in that movie.
Right.
Miracle.
That just hit me differently.
Did you get cut?
No,
Okay.
just hit me differently.
Okay. That's a hockey guy. So I guess my second pick, I'm gonna take it back to the childhood. I'm gonna go Simba finding Mufasa's body on the ground after Scar murdered him, dropped him off of the cliff, and the bison, I think it was, the caribou, I don't know, all ran over him to stampede, and he found his dad's body and was like, he's dead. That's a heartbreaker. There's a lot of heartbreaking moments in those Disney movies you could go with, but I would say out of all of them, I mean that cemented Scar's legacy as like the best Disney villain of all time. I would say.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So I'm gonna go with that. Gar, second and third pick.
Second pick, Titanic. When they, I mean, there are a lot of sad scenes in that as well. But
Yeah.
I think it's when, for me, again, I think the obvious one is when he's floating. And
Yeah,
he's
they're in
got,
the water.
And he's got like minutes to live.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and he was nice enough to give her the door. Even though she was a little selfish, could have
Both
taken the
could-
lifeboat
both-
earlier.
Yeah.
Both
He
could
would've
have
taken
fit on the door.
They
Yeah.
both could have fit on the
A lot of
door.
theories about that.
Yeah.
Just stand up and surf.
But just,
I mean,
and he's just saying, like,
no one ever talks about that.
Yeah, and he's just saying, like, don't say your goodbyes, and then a few minutes later, he's just like, look, you're going to die warm in your bed, and you're going to be an old lady, you're going to have a bunch of kids, and it's going to be great. You're not going to die here. And it just sucks, because her husband, her fiancé, is such trash, and she meets this great guy, and you barely know him, so...
I would say
That's just sad.
the part that gets.
That whole movie's sad.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I mean, honestly, there's a scene where they show,
I think you're gonna talk about.
where the
The
ship
two kids?
the ship finally sinks. The ship finally sinks, and I love this scene. And they zoom out, and everyone is just swimming in the water, screaming at the top of their lungs. I think that gives me like goosebumps. Because that's just like that's not the Rose Jack storyline. That's just like this actually happened.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a scene in
Like people were just
when
floating.
the boat's sinking. Like it's what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but a specific part. A mother tucks in her 2 kids.
Oh,
Yeah, that part, my mom cries
Yeah.
every time.
She's tucking them.
And you're just
she
getting
wanted
on.
them to
She
have
knows.
peace.
Because
Yeah.
like they're
die.
in the poor people part of the boat
Yeah.
where like they didn't get priority.
The old
and
couple, the really old couple, they're in bed and you see the water just going.
I like to
how do
think
you
they
do
didn't
that?
even know.
Yeah.
The old couple, they're just like,
The
good night,
captain?
Dolores. And then just getting tucked in.
Turn the hearing aid off.
Yeah, they just have to hearing. What? Are you in the bathtub?
Yeah. What's that water running?
Oh, Franklin, go to sleep.
The captain going into his little room, holding onto the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Just he's got to go down with the ship.
Yep.
Very proud. Oh man, that's a sad movie.
Very
and
sad
anyone who
movie.
says it's overrated is trash.
that's
There's
just-
so many people
they're
who are
stupid.
like, yeah, that's
They're
a great
stupid.
movie.
It's
So,
an all-time great movie.
yeah. All right.
All right, and your final pick.
My just because I can't think of anything else, I'm gonna go with another Tom Hanks movie, Castaway.
Okay.
And a lot of sad scenes in that.
Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson's the big one, but for me, it's that one right before he loses Wilson, and they're floating, and they finally made it off the island. They got past the big, the waves, and they're finally just floating away. And they both look back at the island. He was on there for 4 years. I mean, that was his life. And I know there are other scenes about when he finally sees Kelly, his wife, or when he loses Wilson and all that stuff. But for me, it's that one. When they leave like he left like basically his second home. That was his life for 4 years.
I thought you were gonna when you said Tom Hanks. I thought you were gonna talk about the movie Philadelphia.
That entire movie. Is
I mean that's like brutal.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones
Every
where like
scene.
you watch it one time and you're like I can't go.
You almost don't want to watch. I've only seen that a couple times because you almost don't want to watch it.
All right,
'cause
so
that's a very sad movie. So those are my 3 picks.
Okay, my final pick I will go with. I mean,
This is a sad video.
this is very sad. I'm gonna go with Thomas J's death in the movie My Girl. I remember watching this for the first time. Alexa and I were sitting in the living room watching it, and the first time we saw this kid pop on the screen, we'd never seen this movie or anything. She looked at me and she goes, "That kid's dying. He is way too cute to survive this movie." And I was like, "I really hope you're wrong, because I will be devastated if he does." And like he just has all these health problems, and you're like, "Oh no, when's it gonna happen?" And you get to the very end, and you think he's gonna escape it. You think they're gonna get married and live happily ever after. Then this kid just goes walking around in the woods and dies because he gets mauled by bees. He just gets stung by 50 bees, and you just see his glasses drop, and he dies. And the performance put on by that little girl in the movie, I don't even remember the character's name. Again, it's one of those sad ones you watch one time and just block it out emotionally. But the performance she put on at his funeral, where she's running up to him at the casket saying he doesn't have his glasses on, Thomas J can't see without his glasses, and she just has this breakdown because that was her one friend. She was going through a hard time.
Veda.
Jeez. Yes. I mean that was gut wrenching, just horrible. So Thomas J.
It wasn't real.
And it was to me. All right, Tony, round it up.
Okay, so I'm stuck between 2.
Dude, I mean, we're really missing an entire demographic of films that always end in a sad way. We just did a segment about this type of animal. Every dog movie ends sad.
Yeah, I know. I was going to pick that one, but this is a shout out to my mom and to all the women out there that watch this endlessly, which doesn't make sense to me. A Walk to Remember. One of the saddest movies. If you guys have never seen it, this girl has cancer, and she falls in love with this guy. This guy's a real big douchebag.
Isn't it Heath Ledger?
No.
No? What's that one?
That's Brokeback Mountain.
No, it wasn't, Tony.
That wasn't Heath Ledger though. He's not in A Walk to Remember.
Okay.
But this guy's pretty much an asshole to begin with in the beginning of the movie. He falls for this girl who's dying of cancer. They get married, because she's dying, and right after they get married, she dies. It's horrible. Every time I see my mom watching it, she's bawling her eyes out. I never want to watch the full thing because it's just the whole thing's sad. But I think that's a good third round pick.
All right, so yeah, we left off every dog movie.
I was gonna Marley and Me so easy.
Marley and Me, Old Yeller, My Dog Skip, first ever movie to make me cry.
Really?
Oh my god, dude, that movie got me like no other, man.
I was stuck between that and a Selena. You ever watch Selena? J-Lo? J-Lo
no.
plays Selena?
No.
She gets killed at the end, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some off the wall picks.
Yeah, you certainly do. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment below who had the best draft. Was it Gar? Was it me? It definitely was not Tony.
100% me.
And comment on our Instagram, Twitter, follow us on social media at UandOPod, and we're gonna get back to the podcast right now.